Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm going to wait for some people to come on. Brother Fitz. What's going on, Brother Sean? Thank you for checking in. By the way, my wife hates when I do these lives. She's laughing at me. It's okay, though. Ramona, what's up? What's going on? Nakia, good evening. Israel Perez, good evening. Sonia, how you doing? All right, so Chess, what's up? Newly retiree. Simon, what's up? James, what's up? Hanging in there, brother. I'm tired tonight, Brother Israel. I'm tired, but I'm here. Danny Ballas, thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate all of you guys, too. Cynthia, how you doing? Tell my brother I said hello. Kenny Perez, hurry up. You have a 4:30 a.m. report? I'll catch you in KB. What's going on, Ben? Brother, welcome. Brandon, Gusto, Manuel. All right, we're going to get started. We're going to start off with a conference call that was done the other day. This was actually yesterday. They was looking at some ideas on bus operator protections, both on the engineering side and the perspective of a near future perspective regarding a face or some type of a shield for our bus operators. All right. The current state, as everybody knows, is we are involved in rear door boarding. All right. We have the chains for the protection of the operator. And now they're doing the X chain with it crisscrossing the chain. So now there's about 2,700 that are done, that are chained, and it's growing. The Department of Buses has prototyped a vinyl sheeting over those chains for the buses we have in service right now, which is express buses. I think it's like 4 of them. It might be happening in Staten Island. The Department of Buses are also looking to do the local buses as well. Additionally, with the social distancing, the first 2 rows have been blocked off, and that's the express buses. All right. The DOB discussion is over the near-term and the long-term solutions on bus operator protections. The Department of Buses says we are hemorrhaging money. We knew that was coming, all right, because we just allow people to come in through the back door and not pay the fare. So now they're talking about they're hemorrhaging money, and they are looking to start collecting fares again, all right. Collecting fares, what does that mean as far as protecting our bus operators? And that's a current discussion that has happened. So we're going to move on to today's call, where we obviously, a lot of you guys know this information. We have late breaking information. The governor and the mayor has committed to shutting down the subways. This is from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. starting next week. All right, that's May 6th. That's on a Wednesday. And this is in order to do cleaning and disinfecting of all stations, all trains, and all train cars. They're also going to clean every bus every 24 hours. Now, I want all that to soak in a little bit, because I'm going to come back to the cleaning of the buses every 24 hours. All right. It was also mentioned to provide additional bus service along with some for hire vehicles and the like. DOB, the Department of Buses, says they don't have much in the way of a service plan right now, and we know that based on the discussion. Management is frantically trying to put something together. The Department of Buses acknowledges that it will be a challenge for them regarding getting bus operators to work overnight. So essentially, there's going to be money to be made here, all right? And the most of that work is going to be overnight, and that's going to be starting on May 6th. As soon as they have the service requirements, we will meet with the Department of Buses management, and we will have a discussion. The Department of Buses currently, their sense is obviously we couldn't replace a subway line. We know that for a fact. We cannot replace a subway line. On the overnights, obviously, we are not carrying the same amount of people. The amount during that time frame on the trains at that hour, the hours between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m., the trains carry about 16 to 18,000 persons in a 4-hour time frame. Okay, the Department of Buses will look at bus routes that connect to hospitals, that could potentially connect to subways, and they will bulk up service in those locations. Right now, we are operating on a Sunday, Saturday, weekday schedule. We don't have the current levels of Hawk service or night bus service we would otherwise have. We have to look at where we currently have Hawk service or night bus service and bolstering up that service. That's what they're looking to do, bolster up that service. So that's basically what they're talking about regarding shutting down the subways. Can they actually pull this off? We're gonna see. I have my doubts on that, and if they can actually pull that off. But anyway, the current statistics in the Department of Buses regarding COVID-19 is we have 941 people quarantined. When I say the Department of Buses, I'm talking about anybody who works for the Department of Buses. It's not just bus operators, it's dispatchers, it's managers. They're all included in that number. So right now it's 941 quarantine. We have 1,772 who have returned to work from quarantine. We have 1,152 positive COVID-19 COVID-19 cases. We have 642 who returned from COVID-19 absences. All right. So moving on to my next subject, the MAC will be extending their hours for folks who have been out 21 days or more and need clearance to get back to work. So I've heard that they will be extending the hours anywhere from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So that's not all. That's was said today. I don't know how set in stone that really is, but they did say that they're going to extend the hours of MAC service to allow for people to come back to work. All right. Antibody testing. All employees are eligible for antibody testing. They can schedule themselves online on the BioReference website. The first week was offered at MAC 1. Next week, it will be extended to other MACs. And in the following weeks, they are putting up a schedule to come into each of the bus divisions to do testing in each of the bus locations. Well, let's scratch that. Not bus locations. They're going to choose a location in the division, and that's where you're going to be able to get your antibody test at. That has not been determined yet, but it will be in each of the bus divisions, right? Now, by the way, for any of my trained folks that's on here listening, this was a bus-specific conversation, so there's probably something going on in the trains as well. Check with your union leadership over there, and or management, and see what they got going on in the trains. The antibody testing is voluntary. Test results will go to the member who got tested, and just so you know, and for the record, it will be also going to the Department of Health, because the Department of Health is actually keeping a track, and I guess to see how many people actually got the antibodies and who might have maybe a recipe to defeat COVID-19. Moving on, the time frame for regular service. May 15th, we've already heard that they're going to be opening up, but the May 15th date is the date for the pause milestone, where New Yorkers, and specifically in the upstate region, will open up. Also, they're talking about essential construction work will start to begin again. All right, the downstate region, which is the New York City region, will have to be very nimble on adding back some service. We will have to see what the impact will be. An immediate example would be the Staten Island Express bus service, because there's folks that travel into the city, such as construction workers, that they're targeting. At some point, as we start to open up New York City, May 15th, somewhere in the range of May 15th or June 1st, we would go back to weekday school close schedule. Okay, and that would be to support more and more people going back to work. Then there's an anticipation of a summer pick going into effect, in the extent that there's a balance. We have enough service and resources to socially distance for the coming back of the system. The goal is to protect our employees and ensure a healthy workforce. These are discussions. There's no immediate date as of yet. So, touching on the pick real quick, we got the prints for the summer. Myself and the Bronx Division Chair, the first thing that we saw in the prints were other schedules that we saw regular summer schedules, and obviously I don't know why I'm tongue-tied and lost the name, but it's the schedules that they use for curtailment. That's the word I'm looking for, curtailment. So they put a curtailment print in our schedules. Now, the curtailment print is in every one of our schedules every time we pick, but particularly the curtailment schedule for the summer was how should I say, highlighted? It was highlighted this time around, which I sent an email back to management saying that I reject the prints until we have a discussion on what you mean on the curtailments, because the curtailment agreement that happened in 2017 was specifically for weather-related events. So they cannot just use these curtailments for any event that they feel like it. So while we try to do what we need to do to protect our members, and also work with management to the best of our ability to do and provide service. We also need to protect our contractual rights and what we have in agreements. So I've so far have rejected the prints until we sit down and make sure that that curtailment schedule is still for weather related reasons. All right. These are, as far as the what I mentioned earlier about the summer pick. These are discussions. There's no immediate date of anything as of yet. All right. So now I want to focus on what they're talking about shutting down the system, right? Because that's essentially what they're talking about doing, to clean and disinfect. So shutting down the system, though, may be the right thing to do. My union eye has, and many of our union eyes, I don't take credit. You know, I gotta say the whole group is looking at the fact that this could be risky for the future of exclusivity of our jobs. This is nothing that management said, but we're looking at it. You know, okay, you shut the system down. We don't got enough people to cover everything. Then they come out with these ride shares, which we all know, if you've been paying attention, we've been fighting this already, right? We've been fighting the ride shares already. And because this pandemic is here, and then we're trying to shut down systems to disinfect and clean and keep everybody safe, they're going to try to backdoor us and slide ride shares in the loop. So what we're going to do is we're going to try, our goal as a union is to try to fill the work as much as possible. It's money to be made right now. Personal thought. Not sure what's being discussed even. I'm not sure that of what's being discussed is even possible. All right? It's talk. It was said on the news. Is it possible? I don't know. I don't think so. But we're going to see what the plan that they come up with. I'm not going to dismiss anything outright. Let's see what the plan they come up with, and we'll sit down and we'll have a discussion. Also, one of my personal thoughts is, because they shut down the subway system, we're gonna probably incur more of a homeless problem. Then we're gonna want police protection and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they're gonna probably put the MTA police out there with us, the Eagle Squad, the Eagle Team, whatever you call them. They may try to put them out there, but I don't know that there's much that they can do about anything. The manpower in maintenance, now they discussed that they're going to be doing cleaning of the buses every 24 hours, right? We don't know that that's possible, because our people were drowning doing every 72 hours. And we were just keeping our head above water in the maintenance departments, doing every 72 hours. So to do every 24 hours, gotta mean that they're going to be trying to bring in some contractors. All right, this is where we at. It hasn't been said that they're bringing in contractors, but we're not dumb. All right, if our people can't handle the work, what do you think they're going to do? All right, and all of this stuff lies back at the feet of Governor Cuomo. All right, so that's my report for the night. I will open up and answer your questions offline. Thank you guys for tuning in, and continue to be safe out here, brothers and sisters. All right, be safe.